Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Simon Staffler from Wineline
Hello.
and Falstaff, Italy.
Yeah, correct.
Good afternoon, Poland and Italy. And we start today's tasting, which is Alto Adige, 13 wines from Alto Adige. Hopefully, you got it and no losses on the way. Simon, this is your presentation.
Okay.
Let's keep the jokes. Let's keep everything because we have to speed up. You have
That's
another.
true. That's true. So I'm going to take it over. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to present my home country, my home region, Alto Adige, to the Polish viewers and tasters. Hello so much from Alto Adige. Hallo aus Südtirol. Südtirol grüßt Polen. We are a very special region. We are a small region. But first of all, we are not only famous for wine, but we're also famous for climbing. So maybe I want to ask just shortly, which is the most famous mountain climber from South Tyrol? Do our Polish friends know that? Maybe we can write it in the chat if somebody knows it. Who is the most famous mountain climber from South Tyrol? Okay, no answers yet. Maybe this is going to take a little bit too long. Of course, it is Reinhold Messner. And the next question would have been, who is the oldest mountain climber we have in South Tyrol? And the answer is, of course, Ötzi. Ötzi, our mummified mountain climber who lies in the Museum of Bolzano. But we're not talking about mountains. Well, we do actually, we talk about wine growing. Then we are here in the northernmost region of Italy, as you can see. Where is Alto Adige? Alto Adige once was part of the Austrian Empire. So once we were the southernmost part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Now, after the First World War, we are the northernmost part of Italy. We are a beautiful region settled between Austria, Switzerland, and of course, the rest of Italy. We are very small. We're not very big, but we have a big variety on a small surface. Maybe we can go to the next slide. We have here pictures of the Alto Adige wine road, and that is what we're gonna do today a little bit. We do a little trip about the southern part of Alto Adige. There is also wine growing in the eastern part of Alto Adige in the Eisacktal Valley, but today we're going to focus on the municipalities between Nales and Salurn, most of it. It's 60 municipalities. In these municipalities, we have 70 wineries, which is basically a lot, 150 kilometers. You can drive this road. It's very beautiful. If you ever come to Alto Adige, or if you ever have been here, you maybe have seen it already. And if you didn't, maybe you come the next summer or next spring. We have a very beautiful region. We're a very touristic region. We have a lot of hospitality. Over 34 millions of tourists come to Alto Adige. So we have a lot of possibilities for you to come. Maybe if you have some questions, I'm happy to help you with to answer them. So the next slide, we can look at it. We are a land in the mountains. As I told you, we are a part of the massif of the Alps. If you look at Südtirol, it goes, it's more dilated between east and west. But if you see the map in the middle, you can see like a V, starting from Merano, then Bolzano in the underneath, and then Bressanone, and most of the winemaking is taking part between Merano, Bolzano, then the southern part down to Bolzano, and then in Bressanone, and a little bit of the Finchgau Valley. But the most wine growing starts in the valley. Next slide, please. This is where Alto Adige wine grows. I hope you can see it. The red color is the vineyard we have. So we start in the west with the Finchgau Valley, which is very dry, very windy, very steep vineyards. Then we come to the Merano area where I am right now, which is also known for Kaiserin Sissi, the Empress of Austria. She came here to make her thermal and spa retreat when she was sick because she needed fresh air. So she came to Merano and made this area also famous because of the Merano Kurtraube. The Merano Kurtraube is a German name simply for Fernatsch at the time, a very light-bodied, low-tannic grape variety, which was used for making wine back in the day when the Empress came here. So when we move to Merano a little bit further down south, we go to the edge Eisachtal, Val d'Adige. We have a lot of wine growing on the hillsides on the slopes of this valley. In the valley itself, we have a lot of apple growing. So we are not only famous for wine, but also for apples. But that is not our topic today. And then you can see the big vineyards around the municipalities of Bolzano, and then furthermost in Epan, in Girlan, in Calton, in Tramin, and then Courtinic and Salurn. So you see on your left side, you have all these big vineyards. And if you stay on the other side and you look up to the left side, you can see these beautiful vineyards. But not only there, if you stay on the other side and you look on the other side on the right side, you have also beautiful vineyards. That's in Montagne, for example, where Franz Haas is coming from, where we have the wines here today. And then if you go up again, and then you can go to the Eisachtal Valley. We have no wine from the Eisachtal Valley today on the tasting. Small wineries, usually in the Eisachtal Valley, very steep soils, very slopey, fresh wine, crystal clear wines. And then you have winemaking to the municipality of Brixen, Bressanone, but that is more or less the limit where wine is produced in Alto Adige. We can go on to the next slide. So, as I told you, we are a very small region on a surface topic, but we have 5,000 wine growers. And you see, 5,000 wine growers produce on 5,700 hectares. So that means in the medium, we have 1 hectare per wine grower, which is, as you can imagine, pretty small. But what is the advantage of this smallness? That is that we have a lot of variety. We have 20 varieties, where you see that later. In all over, we produce as Alto Adige, as Südtirol, we produce less than 1% of Italy's wine. There are CAF Cooperative in Veneto, where one single producer has more vineyards than our whole region together. So we are a small pearl in a big sea of Italian wine. And the other thing is not the variety only of the grapes, but as you can see on the right side, we have a very different kind of elevation. We start from 200 meters and we go up till 1,000 meters above sea level in producing wine. We can go on to the next slide, please. We produce 40 million bottles a year, and basically our wine production is divided between 63-64% of white wine and 36% of red wine. 89% is classified as Alto Adige DOC, which is the quality symbol, the guarantee for the wine that is coming from this region. And we have, as I told you before, 20 different grape varieties. Let's have a look at them in the next slide. First, we have a look at the weather. Sorry. As you can see here, I'm not very technical. I'm not a specialist in geology and in meteorology. But as you can see, we have a lot of hours of sunshine. There is also a claim when we say Südtirol has 300 days of sunshine a year, which sounds a lot, and it's actually true. We have the Alps that protect us from the bad weather from the north. So our cousins in northern Tyrol, they have colder degrees and bad weather and snow and rain and whatsoever, while we here on the south side of life, of course, in Italy and in South Tyrol, we have beautiful sunshine. So we have 1,946 hours of sunshine in average per year, and a precipitation of 814 millimeters a year. As you can see, it's very well balanced. Usually, this is, of course, always a mid value, because as you saw in the last years, the meteorology is going crazy. There are a lot of precipitation once, there's a lot of sunshine in the second moment. But basically, if everything is going well, we have a very ideal wine climate. So next slide, please. We have diverse lands and diverse soil in South Tyrol. As you can see, I'm not going to talk so much about the soil, because we have 150 different rocks that characterize our soil in Alto Adige. That would be really too long. We have almost only 2 hours of time. If we would talk about this topic, we would need not only 2 hours, but maybe 2 days. But basically, we have 2 big soils, from volcanic porphyry on one side, and 2 others is a rock soil with quartz, mica, limestone, and dolomite, and a little bit of sandy marl. So, and the thing you have to know is not that we only have small parcels in, for example, hectares for the small producers, but we have also different parcels of soil. So that means that my soil here can be, for example, quartz, and on this side, my neighbor has volcanic porphyry. It's not so common, but there is this possibility. So it's really important to focus clearly on the winery, on the vineyard, and on the winemaking of the single winery. Next slide, please. As I told you, we're a small province with a great variety. We can jump directly into the next slide, where we go directly focus on the white wines we produce in South Tyrol. As you can see, we are, and we talked about it before, we have more white wine production than red wine production. First comes King Pinot Grigio, which is very closely followed by Gewürztraminer, especially for the Italian market. This Gewürztraminer is very popular. Then we have Chardonnay, because Chardonnay gives excellent quality here in South Tyrol. Pinot Blanc, and then followed by Pinot Noir on the top with Lagrein on the same level. And then we have the historical grape variety, which is also Lagrein, but also Schiava, so-called Vernatsch in German, where the surface of the vineyards has decreased a lot in the last years, because in the 80s, most of the vineyards in Alto Adige were planted with Schiava, which is a light-bodied, light-colored, low tannic grape variety. And now we turned over during the quality revolution in Alto Adige, we focused more on white wines instead of red wines. And so Schiava became less and less. And then we see Sauvignon Blanc is really, really getting bigger. In Alto Adige, 20 years ago, there were all just 40 hectares of Sauvignon Blanc. Now we have over 400 hectares of Sauvignon. Sauvignon Blanc is a grape variety that people like a lot, that is working very well on the markets nationally, regionally, and also internationally. And after Sauvignon Blanc, you see a big step back. We have Merlot Thurgau, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, and so on, with small percentage of the surface. We can go on into the next slide, please. You have to know about Alto Adige that we have 3 overhead organizations in the wine producing. Organizations is maybe a wrong word, but types of winemaking companies, which is one is the Kooperativ, La Cooperativa, the Genossenschaft, which is the cooperative. A lot of small wine producers are connected together in a cooperative. What makes the cooperatives in South Tyrol so special is that the cooperatives in South Tyrol make excellent, high quality wine, which is not so common all over the world. We have maybe some other slight examples in Austria, but basically, or generally, I would say CAF Cooperative and cooperatives are known internationally for not producing always the best qualities, more on the quantity side. Here in South Tyrol, it's completely different. We do have also the quantity, that is correct, but the main goal is to work on quality. So that is one thing you should remember when you drink Alto Adige wine and you see, okay, Genossenschaft, Cooperativa, this wine is going to be it's going to be excellent quality when you drink it. But every wine of South Tyrol with the DOC and not only is of excellent quality. That is one of the main goals and focuses of Alto Adige. We have 33 private wineries, which are bigger wineries who have more than, let's say, 15, 20, 25 hectares in private possession. And they also maybe have some smaller vintners who deliver the grapes to them. So they work, they process the wine and they sell it, so they can have a little bit of more of quantity and quality also. And then we have 143 independent wine growers who bottle their proper and own wine, usually around not 1 hectare. 1 hectare is maybe too little to survive in Alto Adige. When you have 1 hectare, probably you're going to be part of or a private winery or of a CAF cooperative. Maybe you need, let's say, this is just a guess, I don't know, maybe around 4 5 hectares to be self-sufficient, or 3.5. It depends where you stay and whatever you do with the wine itself. So 143 independent wine growers, which is the 5% of the wine which is worked in Südtirol. I'm gonna speed up a little bit. We don't have so much time. Next slide, please. So I put this slide in because these are the most important markets for Südtirol wine, which is, of course, in-house. We have a lot of tourism here. We have hotels, we have restaurants, which are very big clients of the proper South Tyrolean market. So we have Alto Adige, of course, Italy in the sense of a nation. So our wines are distributed very well in whole Italy, from Rome, Naples, Milan, but also Tuscany, Sicily, wherever. Then we have Germany as a big export market, of course, historically also because of the German tourism we have in South Tyrol. So people in Germany find wines from South Tyrol also on the shelf. And of course, Germany as second most important market, or meanwhile, yes, not anymore. Yeah, third most important market in the world is, of course, important market. USA is also a very important market. And then we have some smaller ones like Switzerland, Japan, UK, Netherlands, Belgium, Canada, and South Korea. And maybe from today, also Poland is going to be on this list. I really hope so, that you are going crazy for South Tyrolean wines after this webinar. So we're going to the next slide, please. I'll just give you some values we work on in South Tyrol. As I said, we are very small. So one big important value is the family, small structures, big personalities, strong characters, and the cooperatives and the estate wineries work hand in hand. So there is a saying I used to explain when I talk about South Tyrolean wines. Usually we are all human. So when we go around in Italy, for example, everybody is trying to be a little bit, look at himself or at their estate and say, okay, I'm the better one, then my neighbor is not doing so great or whatsoever. I think one of the coolest things we have here in South Tyrol is that we are bond together. Everybody support each other. We are neighbors, and we really act also as neighbors. We support each other, not only here, also in the export and also during wine fairs and whatsoever. We are really work hand in hand, and this is a strong character of our South Tyrolean idea. We have small family business with a lot of tradition, over 100 years old. We're going to see some wineries today who are really over 100 years old, and heart and soul. So the next slide, please. We have qualitatively demanding. As I told you before, we're not growing wine just for a lot of market, just to do a lot of quantity, just to flow it into the sea of wine in the world. As we said, we are very small, so we have also the chance to be qualitatively very high. We have determination, we have perseverance, we have innovation, we have also a lot of consulting here in the region with the Limburg Center, and also with other enologists and consultants we have here in South Tyrol. So this is a very big topic in the quality of the winemaking here in South Tyrol. And then the next slide, please. We want to really work on sustainability. Right now, we don't have, we have 10% of organic certified surface in South Tyrol. So 570 hectares, more or less, are organically certified. We have set up a roadmap for the future, which is taking in everything that going from sustainability, not only in the vineyards, but also in the production, lighter bottles, less waste, also financial sustainability, social sustainability, small circles and very well planned circles for communication, for export, for marketing, and whatsoever. So we have a roadmap till 2030. We are promoting ecological wine growing, and we used to have, or we already had it, but now we have also this written down, a long-term thinking of sustainability. So we really want our region to be sustainable, healthy, and yes, absolutely cool. Piotr, you're looking at me. I think I am at the end. Next slide, please. Thank you for your attention.
Great intro. Simon, and the questions, are the number of Sundays and temperatures increasing lately?
It depends on the year, but most when we have hot years, of course, the days of sun are increasing. Yeah, There is a meteorological change going on. Last year was really hot also with the temperatures. So I would say yes, but it can also be a little bit variable, because this year I feel, or at least now in spring, we really have some rainy days. We had some dry days before, but yeah. So I don't have the magic crystal ball to look inside. I really hope it's going to be fine.
Well, there are some comments about the registration, the video of this presentation. So, Simon, perhaps the Hollywood is waiting for you. You know,
I don't
people
know.
want to see the movies with you.
Cool.
And some other comments coming in chat, but well, if we are late. Yes, what are the main points of 2030 agenda?
I don't know them by heart, but I know that there's a lot focused on agriculture, so sustainability in the vineyard. So it has a lot to do with I'm missing a word, Spritzmittel, I would say, but it's not the right word actually.
That's a very good word.
Yeah. Somehow it can be understood also in a double sense. But anyway, how about I'm gonna check it and say it at the end.
Very well.
Yes.
Very well. Thank you, Simon. And let's start the tasting, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So this was Simon Staffler. Yes, and Simon is staying with us till the end. He's the host. He's the boss today. I'm just having good time. Yeah. So this is Hannah now. Hannah and Winery Roman. And I'm turning off. This is your floor. Yes. Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's good. Okay. Hi, I'm Hannah from the Winery Romain. We are a family winery in Eppern, here in South Tyrol. The Winery Romain was born last year. We construct, or it's born with the construction of our cellar and our tasting room. And this year we are now we are on the market since April. At our site, we brought Stefan Donat. He's our enologist and our winemaker. We cultivate 6 hectares of vineyards. Our vineyards and winery are located here in Eppern and in Calton, near the lake. The altitude is between 300 and almost 700 meters. The combination of optimal locations, the intensive sunshine, the terroir like limestone, gravel, or calcy loam soils, and the warm winds from the Garda Lake, they are the basis for our wines. Mm-hmm. Our credo is as close to nature as top our quality. Our wines should be fun to taste, fun to discuss, and fun to enjoy. Mm-hmm. Now maybe we should taste.
What grape varieties do you have also in your winery? We're gonna taste a Pinot Blanc, but I know you have also different grape varieties.
Right. We have also Sauvignon, we have Chardonnay, we have Fermat, Schiava, we have Pinot Noir, and we have also Gewürztraminer.
Ah, wow.
But not now. We will have in June, June, we will have our wines like Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, and Gewürztraminer.
Super. So you're really a new winery on the market. So it's really just starting to release. It's really nice to start with this wine. So the first wine is the most newborn winery in the whole tasting. Hannah, maybe can you just tell us quickly, why did you choose Pinot Blanc? Is this the most representative variety for Weingut Romain?
Right.
How many hectares do you have of Pinot Blanc?
How many bottles? Sorry,
No,
I didn't.
hectares.
Hectares. Two, 1.5, 2 hectares.
Okay, cool. So a third of the winery
Yeah.
is Pinot Blanc, and that's why it's the most important one. Okay, cool. This is a Pinot Blanc 2021.
21, right?
Yes, it's a
21.
crystal clear nose. You know, I usually when you say it's typical, you could think a lot of. So I really want to avoid saying typical, but to be fair, if you put your nose into the glass, you would recognize it really quickly as a Pinot Blanc from South Tyrol. It's very fresh. It has these floral notes. Yeah, Adige, a little bit of pear, a little bit of apples, very crispy. And it's also, is this just stainless steel, or is this also in oak?
It's still.
Stainless steel, fresh, drinkable. I see a diam cork here, so I suppose it's supposed to be drunken very fresh. It's a very nice wine, salty, crispy. Really
Mineral freshness, yes.
Do you have what is the shelf price of the Pinot Bianco? Like when I come to your winery as a private person, how much? Sorry?
14 euros.
Okay, 14 euros. There's a question I see. Which varieties are your main focus? So Pinot Bianco, of course. What else?
Sauvignon,
Okay.
Chardonnay, and yeah.
Okay, cool. Are there any other questions for Hannah and Weingut Romain? Or maybe if they are, we can read it in the comments. Piotr, what do you say?
Well, I would say, according to my notes, this is 5,000 bottles produced of this wine. Yes.
Right.
And you're searching for the importer or distributor in Poland, right?
Right.
Very well done, Hannah.
No. Thank you.
Very well done. Thank you very much. And yes, we have to speed up because Simon has a train he can't miss, right? Train to Vienna, of course.
Julia, yes. So we go on with the next
Train
wine.
to Vienna. Good. Very well. Thank you, Hannah. Stay with us, please. Yeah, there's a comment. Bright, mineral, and nice to drink. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Very well. Thank you. And yes,
Now
Klaus.
we have a routinier in the masterclass business. Klaus Gasser is a routinier. There is no better word to describe.
Routinier? No, routinier. I like wine. I drink a lot, so you can see backside, especially old wines. I love old wines, and yeah, good stuff generally. Good stuff.
Today we're not drinking old wine, Klaus. What can you tell us?
No. Today we start young, very young, like baby wines, and Cantina Tarlano. It's my person. My name is Klaus, not Santa Claus, but Klaus Gasser. I'm in the. We are a cooperative, so we have a team. We have you see the picture with the president, the winemaker, very great winemaker Rudi Kofler. Me, I'm an old commercial bitch, and the guy on the right side, he controlled me how much I spent when I go around in the
I've
restaurant.
never seen him in real life. I just seen him for the first time.
So yeah, and I'm very happy to be here and can show our wines, especially Cantina Tarlano has an incredible history, an incredible terroir. So we start by the terroir. We have our own under appellation Tarlano. So we are based on a volcano practically with a rock what is completely we don't have nothing inside about calcareous influence, so it's 100% volcanic soil. We had between 55-60% silicate in the soil. The right name, it's quartz porphyric. It's a very sandy soil, then the rock is quite hard, and it's a very poor soil. We have historically less yield in this region. We have a very warm climate, so generally we have the wines with a little bit higher alcohol. We have the vineyards what's starting by about 250 meters going up until 900 meters. That's, for example, is a Pinot Bianco vineyard in the altitude. So we will to talk today also about by Terlano, by Pinot Bianco, but it's maybe the main variety for us. I present you today the Vorberg Pinot Bianco, but we use the Pinot Bianco also for the historic blend for the Terlana, and that's a historic blend with the main part is the Pinot Bianco in this blend. And also when you look the history of Terlano, what started in 1893 was Pinot Bianco the main player regionally also, and we have vintages of Pinot Bianco all vintages go back to 1955 in the cellar. We have keeping stainless steel Pinot Bianco back to 79, so we have a lot of old stuff too, but Simon, we taste young stuff, young
We taste young
2020 Pinot Bianco Vorberg. It's okay, I need a glass, sorry.
I mean, here you can on that picture before, maybe if we can go back, we see the stainless steel tanks in the presentation where also the white wine is resting. And one of the claims of Catena Terlano is we let wines age. Is that correct?
Grow. But age is the same. It's the same thing. Absolutely.
Grow on the plant, but yeah, also the grow also on quality, of course, in the stainless.
In the picture, you see these old stainless steel watts. These are from 1967, and we keep inside very special millesimes, so very special vintages. And we have 16 vintages, 16 casks from this, and vintages go back. 16 go back 1979. What is the oldest one of Terlano? But now we talk about
what can you tell us about Vorberg Pinot Bianco?
So for us, you need to know we have the altitude start by 250 going up until 900. But the best Pinot Bianco, what we grow, it's in a special altitude. So we have maybe between 550 and 650 meters. We have our Grand Cru of Pinot Bianco. And here we produce the Vorberg, the Novadomus, the rarities. All high-end Pinot Biancos, what we produce is in this very small line of altitude. And that is a fantastic balance between higher temperatures from the valley, but also the cool winds. And so we have in this altitude a higher acidity. And so the Pinot Bianco Vorberg, it's especially when we grow, we make a very low yields by this Reserva, but Pinot Bianco Vorberg is a Reserva. It's also created for a long possible aging. So it's quite different, I think, to the Pinot Bianco, what you taste before. Then here we have 18 mounts of yeast contact, means 12 mounts of big oak cask and another 6 mounts in concrete on the yeast. And so it's a wine what's going more in a creamy direction. Also the nose is more dry fruits, not really fresh. It's a little bit more evolved in the nose, but he has a great taste and also a very long finish, and is created basically for aging.
Yeah, for aging. I absolutely agree with what Klaus is saying. Is I have this nutty, buttery aromas in the nose, very yellow, very bright. very rich also on the palate, almost greasy, almost creamy. And I know from personal tastings that every wine from Delano can age beautifully. I'm very happy that Klaus is today with us, because Delano is not only an excellent winery in South Tyrol, but is also considered one among the best wineries in whole Italy, especially, of course, for white wine. So thank you, Klaus, for being with us. Piotr, do you have something to add to Delano?
No, I just wanted to speed up a little bit. Thank you very much, Klaus. You stay with us because you're coming back.
Yes,
just
I'm coming back. Yeah.
Yes, just
second round. It's coming.
And just to add that your distributor in Poland is Vininowa, and the production of this wine is 70,000 bottles, and the shelf
That's
price
correct.
in Italy is about 28, 29 euro, right?
Yes.
Yes, very well done. And a comment, what is the aging potential? Yes, up to 15 years, and very elegant and nicely balanced. Yes.
But
Very
forward
well.
needs few years of bottle aging. So going great with few years more. No, it's in the first year. It's a little closed.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Klaus,
Thank you, Klaus. Super.
Thank you. And now this is Kellerai Bosen and Robert. Robert, can you put on the camera?
I'm sorry, I think the camera isn't working. Can you see me?
No,
we can't see
hear you.
But you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why the camera is put in, but it seems, I don't know.
The connection is perhaps poor, and
okay.
This is why perhaps. Okay,
we have to
go
try
on,
something.
please.
Yes, thank you for having me. A few words about winery Bolzano. So we are a really young winery. We are born in 2001, but born by the merger of the true historic wineries of Bolzano. So the Gries winery founded 1908 and the winery Santa Maddalena founded 1930. The winery is a cooperative with actually 225 members who cultivate around 350 hectares in Bolzano and surroundings. The vineyards lay in between 250 and 1,000 meters above sea level, mostly in the area of Bolzano and on the Renon. So actually we are growing 16 varieties and produce more than 40 different wines.
16 varieties.
16 varieties.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So here we see grapes from the Kleinstein farm. So that's the wine we have chosen for this tasting. It's located on Signat on the Renon at around 600 meters above sea level.
Mm-hmm. So Kleinstein is the name of a farm, not of a cru, right?
No, it's the name of the farm.
Okay, pretty cool.
So he delivers the most important part of the grapes are coming from the Kleinstein farm. Yes, you can see our new winery building. So in 2015, we started with the construction of the new winery and moved into it in 2018. So this shining cube since 2018 is our new headquarters. You can see in the front the shining cube. That's our administration building, and the whole production is in the back area.
Yes, it's in the mountain, almost in the mountain, not only.
Completely underground, yes.
Yeah. I really love this building. Robert, again, compliments. It's one of the most beautiful wineries we have aesthetically in South Tyrol. I know that you have a lot of visitors also because of the beautiful, amazing building, which is also, I think it's a grape leaf, if I go correctly, right?
Yeah,
super.
Correct. You can see our auditorium. So that's our most used tasting room with a really nice view directly in the brick cellar. So it's really really a great atmosphere there to taste wines.
Mm-hmm. Wow, cool.
Yes, the wine we have chosen is our Chardonnay Kleinstein 22. So it's was one of our first selection wines in the white wine range. How I told before, the farm who gave the name, the wine is located in Renon, on the Renon, as in Signat on the Renon, at around 600 meters above sea level. Here, the Chardonnay grapes thrive on warm and steep porphyry slopes. In addition, high daytime temperatures meet cold streams from the Isarco Valley. This results in really high temperature differences between day and night. This gives us ripe grapes and maintain, on the other side, the typical acidity.
I really love the nose, this exotic aromatic complement that is really where you put your nose in the glass and say, wow, this is Chardonnay. You really immediately know it. Also, these exotic aromas, banana, mango, whatsoever, everyone can smell. Also the mouth.
It's really elegant, really fresh, well balanced, fine mineral notes.
It has this very exotic, also ripe fruit on the nose, but always underlined by salivating salt. So it's really fresh. I really love the expression of the Kleinstein Chardonnay. If I may add a personal comment, it's really, really iconic. You can recognize it from far away in the shelf, also because of his yellow packaging etiquette. So really, really iconic. Piotr, what do you say? You have the data on your hand for Bolzano Kleinstein Chardonnay. Piotr.
So, and this is 20,000 bottles.
Yes.
This is
around 20,000
or Wineland from Stettin, the importer.
Correct.
And 16 euro on the shelf in
Italy.
Well, and for the moment there is a comment about the building, about the shining cube, I believe. So amazing building. And what do you think, guys, about the wine?
Write it in the comments. Let us know what you think about the wine.
Yeah, if there's no comments, someone is typing. Someone is typing.
Really nice. Very friendly. That's nice. I would agree on that. It's very friendly. Very accessible. Yeah, immediate. Very nice. Cool.
Women are more open here, they it's always women commenting.
We are open for everybody, Piotr. Don't worry. So we love everyone. Alto Adige loves everyone. And everyone loves Alto Adige. So
yeah. Okay.
It's a nice place. Thank you, Robert, so much for being with us. I'm sorry we can't see you, but thank you so much for your presentation. We move on to the next winery. It's Franz Haas, and we have Franz Haas with us.
Yeah, possibly, yes, because this is the most tricky. Franz Haas had a lot of problems to connect, so hopefully, Franz. Hey, this is Franz Haas.
This is Franz Haas.
We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear and see me?
Yes.
Go on, please. Yeah. Don't touch. Go on. Just go on.
My God.
Welcome. Hello.
Okay. Very good. So, here at this tasting, or better said, webinar, we decided to participate with our Pinot Grigio IGT, delle Dolomiti, 2022, which comes from vineyards between 350 and 800 meters above sea level. So it's very nice, crispy, and nice acidity as well. This is some picture of our vineyards, but well, this is vineyards of Pinot Noir, as I think you can see in Mazzone, so right over Enya, very close to the winery, with a nice view on the valley.
Yeah, we are in the southern part of South Tyrol here, on the eastern part, right?
Bassa Tesina.
Super.
In Italian, or Unterland in German.
I have to say it's a very, very lovely place of work. It's really nice.
It would be worse to work in a mine, probably. Yes.
But sorry, Simon, I couldn't hear you.
I said it's better than work in a mine. Like I really prefer.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
But then, what do you want to quickly tell us? Maybe a little bit of history of your family winery, so that we know a little bit about Franz Haas. Also, because maybe you can tell 2 things about the Tapua Vite and maybe of the label.
Yes. Okay, so
Just quickly, just if you want to.
Yeah, of course. So the base of the nowadays existing winery has been built from my great-great-grandfather, Franz Haas IV. We have always been in the wine business also before, but between the third and the fourth generation of Franz Haas, everything went lost because of inheritance disputes. So my great-great-grandfather began from almost zero with half a hectare and 2 tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays we work the grapes of about 50 hectares, which 30 are between owned and rented vineyards, let's say, and 20 hectares are supplied.
Okay.
So on 30 hectares we do everything from A to Z, also in the field, and 20 hectares we only work the grapes.
Okay, cool.
And produce in average 420,000 bottles a year, depending on the harvest.
Mm-hmm.
And the vineyards are on a height between 230 and 1,150 meters above sea level, with our highest vineyard, which is in Aldino. So about 15 minutes driving from our winery. So this is our barrique cellar, by the way, where the very big part is filled with Pinot Noir, which is the wine we are mostly well known for, and it also was my father's passion.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to tell us quickly, if you have, everybody has the wines in the tasting, yours is the only one, may I say, with the screw cap? So, do you want to tell us quickly why you did choose the screw cap and not any other seed?
Yes, because we were sick and tired of the bottles. So yeah, of the bottles influenced by the cork. Unfortunately, in the last years, always more in a negative way from the cork. So my father tried for over 20 years to find a proper closing for the bottle, which wouldn't affect the wine in any way. And screw cap was his choice. So that's what he has chosen, to maintain the wine as we make it and as we would like to show it to our customers.
Yeah, and it has also good aging potential. I mean, we tasted recently in another tasting the aging potential of Franz Haas wines with the screw cap. So you can also confirm, Franz, that some ideas or some credos say, yeah, okay, wine in a screw cap cannot age, but that's not true.
No, the wine ages, even though there is a screw cap, only slower.
Exactly.
Especially over the last 10 years, also in screw cap, they have made big footsteps forward in technology, and there are membranes which have a controlled permeation of oxygen. Mm-hmm. So you can decide how much oxygen you want to get into the bottle per year. So it's also controlled aging over the years of the wine.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have wines you want to last forever, you can use the tin foil, which is completely hermetic,
mm-hmm.
Which is the closer, or better said, the come si dice guarnizione?
Sealing.
Thank you. Which is the sealing we used at the beginning, because at the beginning there was no chance to have any other seeding, but over the years they developed different seedings with different permeation, and we opted for those ones to age the wine.
Super. Piotr, you have some numbers for us, probably.
Well, yes, yes, and the numbers are 11.5 euro on the shelf, right? 45,000 bottles of this specific wine, and well, Franz Haas is one of the veterans of the Polish market. For a long, long time, you were present on the market. Now you're represented by Rafa Wino. So Rafał Świerczek, Rafał and Paweł Świerczek, father and son. Yeah, and well, hopefully you will stay with us for a long, long time. Yeah,
I hope so as well. And
okay.
I have never been to Poland, and I'm really very not only curious, but I can't wait to get to be there and see
Poland
first time.
Well, May is a good month to come here.
Okay.
Don't come in November, December, January, February, March, or even April. You know.
Okay.
Maybe you're quickly, a quick year.
Well, May, June, yes.
Which
May,
month?
June is fine. August.
Okay.
Some nice Octobers as well.
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję. Very well. Thank you very much, Franz.
Thank you, Franz.
Thank you.
Yes,
And now, guys, this is Simon speaking.
Peter
This is
Semmer
Simon
is
speaking
not
for Peter
able to attend our presentation, so I'm gonna just quickly introduce his winery. Peter Semmer is the name of the grandfather of Peter, which is also the man represented in the picture we have now on the screen. He's the man in the middle. His winery is situated very, very south of South Tyrol. Actually, when you are at Franz house, you can see Peter Semmer's winery. Probably it's almost on the border to Trentino, and it's in a village called Cortina an der Weinstraße, Cortina sulla Strada del Vino, on the wine road also. So as you can see here on the picture, this is the part of South Tyrol in the valley where there are vineyards in the valley, not only on the slopes but also on the valley it's themselves. We have Pinot Grigio here for Peter Semmer representing his winery. It's Pinot Grigio Giertel. Peter Semmer has done a very nice investment over the last year. He's growing. He's one of the private wineries in South Tyrol. So he owns hectares properly, of course, but he also works with grapes from a lot other small producers who are giving him their grapes. And now he's doing, since some years, he's doing a project for vineyards, so for vineyards, so wines that coming from a selected vineyard, so from cru sites. And one wine he's presenting is Pinot Grigio Giertel. This is a very beautiful building in Cortina. We do a Pinot Grigio Riserva. It's 2020. You can see it on the label. It's there are some vineyards that are around the village of Cortina. So the grapes for this wine are not coming from slopes, but are coming from sea level, 200 meters above sea level, and around of Cortina. It's a very important Pinot Grigio. It's a structured Pinot Grigio. With Franz Haas, we had a fresh, crispy Pinot Grigio, typical aromas also of peach, of pear, of floral notes for Franz Haas. Now with Giertel, we have these oaky notes, we have buttery notes, we have hazelnuts, we have also some smoky notes. Also a brighter color, very intense. It comes also from the maturation in the barrels, of course. Very oily, very structured, very balanced, elegant wine. And although the wine is structured and maybe a little bit oily. It has always this nice acidity, this nice pressure on the mouth, this crispiness, in my opinion, that you only can find in wines from Alto Adige, because as the winemakers and the vintners said before, we have a lot of differences between day and night. We have crispy winds, we have sunny days. So you have always this nice expression of the fruit accompanied by the freshness and the sapidity in the wine. As you can hear while I'm talking, the wine gives me salivation, crispy, salty. Very structured. This wine is for keeping. This is a Riserva, so this wine is made also for aging. I'm pretty sure that if you keep this wine some years in your cellar, maybe 2, 3, 5 years, it surely gets rounder. It's even get more balanced. Although I have to say, very nice pressure on my palate. Very nice. You can hear it. Very nice sapidity. There are not many bottles of this since it's not a big production. Piotr, you're smiling. Why are you smiling?
You make me thirsty, Simon.
We don't have the wines, Piotr. I'm so sorry. Because for our viewers, so Piotr, you have to stay in the Sahara Desert with sand in your mouth. I'm sorry.
I'm round and crispy fruit, and this is again Yola. Well, it seems, Simon, it seems that this is you, me, winemakers, and Yola. And
hello,
where are the
Yola.
others? Where are you guys? Maybe. Let me say it in Italian. Guys, where are you?
Perfetto.
So this is Peter Zemmer is searching for importer. Is 25 euro, is 17,000 bottles. Oh, hello. Yes, they are alive. Andre is writing very nice wine. Thank you, Andre. Yes,
I agree.
Yola is smiling.
I think one last thing to add. I think here in the Pinot Grigio Riserva Ghietl, you feel the southern fruit of Alto Adige, but also this crispiness of the mountains and the wind that comes down from the mountains and also from the Lake Garda. So very, very good expression.
Very nice. I really like Simon the way you present it. Yes. Okay. So now this is Weingut Tramin, Cantina Tramin, and
exactly. Till now we had single grape variety wines, and now we come to Cantina Tramin, which presents us a very beautiful cuvée.
Yes.
Ciao. Dzień dobry. I hope you can hear me all right.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, Cantina Tramin is named after the village. Our winery is located, and the village's name is Tramin. And it might sound familiar because Tramin is said to be the cradle of Gewürztraminer. So we do a lot of we do produce a lot of different Gewürztraminers and also excellent ones. The most significant characteristic. Hang on. Ah, vous fermez maintenant? J'en ai plus 3 minutes?
Ouais, mais c'est un accueil sécurisé, il faut partir après. Moi, je pars.
Okay, sorry. I just have to leave because I'm sitting somewhere where they're closing. Anyhow, well, we do produce a lot of Gewürztraminers. They are dry and very expressive, but today we decided to introduce you to a blend. And it's a blend made with 4 different grape varieties. The 4 most distinctive grape varieties that we have in Alto Adige, which are Chardonnay, Sauvignon, Pinot Bianco, and Gewürztraminer. And this is the label. And you can see it's a black bottle with a white label and white stripes. And the white stripes, they stand for the 5 senses one has to use in order to understand wine in its essence. So that's the idea.
Sigrid, if you need some time to just to move, it's no worries. We can wait for you.
Wait, no, the problem is that traffic was so bad that I didn't make it in time to get back to my hotel. So
But I
Just
love
to
I love
inform,
the energy of this call. Actually, I love the work.
no, I'm sorry. I knew I was going to be late, so I just head into an office building and I said, "Can I stay here for a presentation?" And they said, "Yeah, right." And then when my turn came up, she was like, "Oh, it's 7 o'clock. We're closing."
I'm so
this
sorry.
is typical for the French, you know.
For
This
the
is
French, they always
very
kick me
typical.
out. Okay, but if you can hear me all right, where I'm
Very well.
standing,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Go
So
on.
Stein and means stone, and it's a reference to the rocky soils that we have in our area. And this is that you can see is the winery. In fact, our winery is a cooperative. That's something very important to say about our winery. It's one of the oldest in Alto Adige actually, and it was founded by the local priests. We're a very Catholic region like Poland. And in 1898, a local parish priest suggested to the local producers to establish a winery because the wine merchants were paying very little money for their grapes. And that's what they did. So nowadays we have 300 little producers that are members of our cooperative, and they work 270 hectares. So that's less than 1 hectare per person. So imagine it's like um, a producer having its own little garden. They consider their vineyards to be their own garden, and they tend to their vineyards with great care. So, what's so special about this blend that you have in your glass? I think it's very well balanced between the four grape varieties. Obviously, the aromatic grape varieties are very present right now, but that's the interesting thing about this blend because now it tastes completely different than it will in 5 years' time because now you get a lot of the Sauvignon and the Gewürztraminer, so the two aromatic grape varieties in the blend. But then this wine has a great aging potential. So in another 3 or 5 years, the balance within the blend will have changed, and you'll get more of the Chardonnay out of this blend. And I love this wine because each grape variety gives its contribution to the blend. So you have the complexity of the Chardonnay in the back of your mouth. You get the aromatic grape varieties, the grassy notes, the typically grassy notes of the Sauvignon. You get the lychee and the roses of the Gewürztraminer, and then the freshness comes from the Pinot Bianco. So each grape variety ages separately for 11 months in big oak barrels. I'm talking 30 to 40 hectoliter big barrels, and then we blend the four grape varieties together to create this magnificent blend, which is one of my favorite wines of our range, and our range comprises 30 different wines.
Storn is a unique wine. Sigrid, you said it very well. I like the freshness. I like the crispiness. I like the touch of wood. I like the wine. Full stop. That doesn't matter. It's a very accessible wine. It's a very beautiful wine. Billy does a great work in the cellar. The enologist. Your whole team is doing a great job. And as I can see now, Sigrid, you're very working for the wine. So 100 points to you for your determination. Thank you so much. Excellent
Sigrid,
wine. I hope the people
I
in Poland
would go great with curry dishes.
Yeah.
Especially when it's young because you get the Gewürztraminer, which is spicy and aromatic as the name says, and we always recommend Asian dishes with Gewürztraminer, and curry will be great with this wine.
Mega. I'm getting hungry. Piotr, What do you say?
Sigrid, you're my hero. You're my hero. Really well. You did well.
I feel like a homeless person on the street.
This is
of
why
Paris.
you shouldn't go to France, that's why. Okay, so 60,000 bottles. Le Barbatel is your distributor in Poland, 25 euro on the shelf in Italy, roughly. And well, Sigrid, very well done. Bravissimo.
Thanks for your patience.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sigrid.
Dziękuję bardzo. Do widzenia.
Dziękuję i do widzenia. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Wow, what an energy. Now Josef has to do a great job to keep it up.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, so this is Weingut
So,
Cornell.
Could you go outside, please, Josef? Why are you inside? You should go outside.
Because actually it's raining, so I guess it's too it would be too much. Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Joseph. I'm a family member of the winery Cornell. You see our team here. We are quite a small producer in Alto Adige, a private family, but nothing at all. We are quite improving, and we'll have some goals to reach the next years. First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity and for your time to attend this webinar. Just a few facts about the winery Cornell. On one hand, we are a very historically rooted winery founded because Setteguerce Siebenreich is a part of the city of Terlan, near the capital of Alto Adige of Bolzano, right outside, and was founded over 2,000 years ago by the Romans. So it's quite historical as a place. Not that old, but also quite old is Cornell. Our place was founded in 1190 as a hay magazine of the Castle Greifenstein that tops over the hill, right behind the Tenuta on 700 meters. But the main house you see here in this photo was built in 1580 as part of a monastery from Bolzano. And back in the days, we started producing whites and reds. Our family wasn't from Setteguerce, but was from Girlan, another town. It's 10 minutes from here by car, and started here as a wine growers family in 1790. We started here as white wines and then came here to Setteguerce, producing also the red wines. Back in the days, it wasn't making wines and selling wines like nowadays, but everything was produced and sold as an open wine in the barrels. We sold a lot back in the days to Switzerland, Germany, and a lot to Austria. And on the other hand, we are quite a young winery because Cornell was rebranded in the 1990-2000 this year. After our grandfather for about 40 years wasn't interested in winemaking and sold all the grapes yearly to a local cooperative. Thanks to him that he sold not everything, but sold only the grapes. My father-in-law, Florian, he's the owner, started in 1999 again with making wine for his own under the brand of Cornell. So on this hand, we are quite a young brand. Since 2000, we are constantly growing because we started 20 years ago with 10,000 bottles of Merlot and Cabernet, and are nowadays producing nearly 350,000 bottles a year. 50% is white, 50% is red wine, and our goal would be to reach about 450,000 bottles the next year. We can do that because of the average age of the vineyards. We are now on 25 to 35 years. And we are still counting. And also we bought a new winery last year of 6 hectares where we're expecting a lot of great white wines the next years. But enough with the facts. Let's start with the wine. Today we're going to taste the Sauvignon Blanc Cosmos. It's the latest vintage, 2022. For us, it's a very important wine, not only because it was the first white wine we produced back in 2003, but it's, I would say, a very typical white wine, not only for us, but also for Alto Adige. Speaking of a Sauvignon Blanc, it's 100% stainless steel. We have 3 different areas where we're producing the grapes of this wine. to our stands on porphyry soil here in Settequerce, and we start here on 300 meters and go up to the Renon above Bolzano, where we stay on 750 meters. And the first one is on limestone and gravel soils on the other side of the valley. We are in Lana Act 5, up to 600 meters over there too. The idea of this wine is to have a very grape-driven Sauvignon. It's fermented in stainless steel and stays on the lees afterwards for at least 5 to 6 months until bottling. This one was bottled at the 1st of April now. It's a very grape-driven, crisp, lightly salty Sauvignon Blanc, very aromatic. We call it the young rebel because it's a very good expression of Sauvignon Blanc. And you can, on this wine, you have the different influences of the soils we have. You have some maybe mature, some exotic notes of the porphyry soils, and then something more herbal with some spicy notes like elderflower. We have grapefruit in the glass. This is something that comes especially from the gravel limestone. So
thanks, Josef, for doing my job, basically. But thank you for analyzing the wine for us. There's nothing more to add. Basically, I think one of the most important things to say about Cosmos is the crispiness. When I taste and drink Cosmos, I think always of crispy, clear Sauvignon Blanc from Alto Adige. And as you said, something very true. I think Cosmos is a very good representative for a style of wine we can find in Alto Adige, at least for the younger vintages of the wine that come onto the market or came out to the market recently. Mm-hmm. So also very iconic, the presentation, the packaging of Cosmos. It's very recognizable in my opinion. So compliments also for that. Excellent.
Yeah, the idea of this packaging, it seems very modern, but it's also 20 years now that we have the same label. And the idea was to have less label, but more wine for the consumer.
Very nice idea. Very nice idea. Very also good thinking in terms of sustainability. Josef, do you have an importer in Poland, or are you looking?
We are actually looking for an importer to Poland. The only thing I want to correct, because I saw it here, we are actually producing 50,000 bottles of this wine and not 25 bottles like on the fact sheet.
And not 25, but maybe 25,000. So hopefully, 50,000 bottles. Very nice. I hope the people in the webinar like it. I personally do, because it's very crispy and it's very drinkable. In fact, it's dangerous, so I put away my glass.
So according to my notes, it's 13.5 euro shelf price.
Yes,
in Italy, but my notes was 30,000 bottles, so not.
No, we are we are actually this vintage. We will have about nearly 50,000 bottles of this wine.
Yeah, very well, very well.
Nice. Not only Cosmos, also the other wines of Cornell are very, very nice to drink and have. So maybe if an importer is listening and tasting, I really recommend this winery. I recommend every winery in this tasting. So I can't stay on one side. So I am fan of every wine and winery in this tasting. And not only.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Josef, for being with us. We're going to go away from Settequerce. We're actually just connecting to Klaus to Terlano again, if I'm right, Piotr?
Yes, but wait, someone is typing something in chat. So let's see. Very nice one. Yes, very nice one. Thank you. Yes, and it was a male comment, so that's why it's so laconic. You know, women are more talkative, and that's Anyway. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this is Klaus Gass again. Hi.
Hello.
Hello again. So.
Hello again.
Hello again. I'm back with Cantina Andriano or Kellerei Andrian. I need to explain. It's we have the Adige Valley, and we have on the right bank we have Andriano, and left bank we have Terlano. Terlano it's 100% volcanic, and Andriano it's calcareous. Also is a different. We have by Andriano we have the sun in the morning and shade after 6 p.m. in the evening, so it's a cooler climate. We have 2 weeks of difference of ripeness, so we start 2 weeks later in Andriano, and we have a little bit higher total acidity. The latitude of this appellation of Terlano and Andriano, what are together in the under appellation of Terlano DOC, is from the latitude like to Côte d'Or in Burgundy. So, but Andriano, it's a little bit more Burgundy concept than Terlano. Terlano is volcanic, Andriano is calcareous, and is the oldest. Was the oldest historic cooperative in Alto Adige, was founded in April 1893. So this year we have anniversary of 130 years. And Terlano, for example, was founded in 1893 also, but in June.
Okay.
So the Andriano people says, oh, the Terlano people sleep a little bit longer, no?
Okay.
But okay, and we, so I need to explain how I present now Andriano. But Andriano, Andriano has some economic problems in the 2000 time, and we decide 2007 to incorporate the cooperative on Andriano, and so the managing, it's the same. I'm basically enologist, and then I move in this commercial side, and the same, but the responsible enologist is the same for Terlano Andriano. It's Rudi Kofler. And when we start to make this new project, we need to replant about 40 hectares. We made a new concept, especially we think it's a great potential for white wines too by Andriano. And so we taste today also the flagship Sauvignon Blanc of Andriano, what is Andrius. And it's a very small production. It's about 10,000 bottles. It's a selection. And we have by Terlano Sauvignon Blanc also a big history, and also a big brand like Sauvignon Blanc Quartz. But Sauvignon Andrius, we made this in the same concept a little bit, but in a totally different terroir. And what make by Sauvignon Blanc, what is different between volcanic and calcareous? Calcareous give more richness. The volcanic soil give a little bit more vertical taste. But this is a real rich, powerful Sauvignon Blanc. It's 2021. It's vinified. The mostly part is vinified in stainless steel, and about 30% is in oak. In big, not too big, we talk about 500 liter tonneau oak cask.
How would you say, Klaus, are in the aging potential, is there a difference between the wines from Andriano and the wines from Terlano?
So now we, when we see, I need to tell you, when we start in 2009 to take Andriano, we reduced the yield 30%. So we start with a new maybe quality concept, but in the volcanic soil you have a naturally lower yield, but in the calcareous soil you have richer soil, and so the plant like to produce a lot. So we reduce the yield, and now what we can see, it's the aging potential is also very, very interesting. I don't know, we don't have the experience about 50 years like Terlano, but we can say the last 10, 12 years, when we start to make the first Andrius, it's 2011 now, shows great. But we need, I think we need also but it's in the same appellation, but it's a different terroir, and so we need also more experience. But we try to make a great, especially by whites, by Sauvignon Blanc, and also by Chardonnay, we try to make a great wine.
I absolutely agree with the great wine. Piotr, do you have some information for us?
Well, yeah, the distributor in Poland, this is Frozo, or known as Twoje Wino, from Zakopane, Krakow, and Poznań, perhaps. And the shelf price is 27.50 euro in Italy. The
Plus,
total
minus.
production is about 13,500 bottles per year.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like the expression of the Sauvignon in the nose. It's recognizable, but also the structure on the palate. If I may say, I know we did taste Vorberg, which is another grape variety, and also it's also different vintage. But in my opinion, if you want to be a freak, or you can freak into the wine, you feel a different in texture of the terroirs. You feel the porphyr in the Vorberg, and you feel the
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially also the Sauvignon Blanc, the varieties, it's a different reaction. Now you have a different aroma profile. You have a little, the aroma, it's fatter, it's richer. In the volcanic soil, you have a little bit finer nose, a little bit more the white flowers, and here you have a lot of power and a lot of richness in the Andrius.
Klaus, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't forget, Simon has his night train to Vienna to catch, and
Okay.
yeah.
I stop.
We have to speed up.
Buonasera, Poland.
And now, buonasera. Yes.
Grazie. Thank you.
And
Ciao, Simon.
Simon, this is Cantina col Terenzio. And yes, this is Simon.
I introduced
Simon.
Col Terenzio, the rebel since 1960. Cantina col Terenzio was founded out of 26 members out of Cantina Girlan, which is part of Epan, and there was a winery cooperative in Epan, in Girlan, and then some people of the cooperative in Girlan moved out, and they founded the Cantina Schreckbichl Col Terenzio. Col Terenzio is a brand that is very well known also for the Lafoa label that we are going to taste later, or in a few minutes, I wanted to say, but also because of Louis Reifer. Louis Reifer was a person who changed a little bit the history in winemaking. Not only him, but with a few others, he changed the history of winemaking in South Tyrol from a quantity winemaking to a quality winemaking. So there is this winery we see here on the picture. It's also made up with some natural plants, also to increase sustainability and CO2, and to be very integrated. On the hill where this winery is situated, it has a black tower on the label. So this is a logo that you can see as an expression of the winery, and I think I might know that there will be also a towering construction soon. So the winery is going to increase the architectural structure. It's a very beautiful winery, as you can see in the picture. Maybe we move on a little bit. So we go to the wine. It's made, of course, of members, and I wanted to focus on the wine because the wine is very recognizable for its label. It's made by an artist. I wrote it down. I don't know it by heart. So the artist is Guido Antonio Mus. He was a very famous sculptor from South Tyrol, Val Gardena. He lived from 1941 to 2003. And the label was made by a very famous graphic design studio in Lucca in Tuscany, from Studio Guardenti. So, and it expresses the spirit of nature. And if you look at it and you are very interested in art, you might say, hey, this looks like Klimt. And basically you're right, because it comes from the same style of art movement, and it's Art Nouveau. And Art Nouveau and the revolution in the art and the thing of doing something different, it's also the thinking of the winery, or it was first, and now it still is. So Lafoa stands for Quality Revolution. Lafoa is a fantasy name, which is a vineyard, actually. It was, and it still is, in the property of Louis Reifer, the old president of Col Terenzio. So he started in his own vineyard cutting or extracting the Fernache grape wines and replacing it with Cabernet Sauvignon, and he started to do quality revolution from himself, putting it then into the winery, into the cooperative, and with him in the 80s, the quality revolution started. Today, we're going to taste Lafoa Sauvignon 2021. We have it in the glass. Lafoa is not only a name of vineyard, it's not only a name of a label, but it's also a name of a classification inside of a quality pyramid inside the winery of Schreck-Bichl-Colterencio. We have this very yellow notes, a little bit smoky, oaky, very bright, but also elderflower, berries, lemon zest. It's very inviting, very rich also in the nose. Again, crispy, clear, but with a good structure, creamy a little bit. This winery, the grapes for this wine come from Eppan, from Schreck-Bichl. Very expressive, spicy almost. You can feel also the touch of the oak cask and the barrels. Very precise, a little bit reductive right now, but opens up very beautifully. And from my personal experience, I can say that these wines can age very, very long, also 15, 20 years. Piotr.
Well, fantastic wine. Would go great with lobster. It's a comment.
I agree.
Beautiful.
I agree. Absolutely. Don't write about food. I'm getting hungry.
Depends on the lobster, you know. There are different lobsters.
Do you have good lobster in Poland?
Well, from Canada, mostly.
Okay, fair enough.
But, well, from Maine as well. Yes, some. And the name of the artist is Mus?
Yes, Guido Antonio Mus. M-U-S-S. I can write it in the chat.
M-U-S-S. So there's not mousse like mousse in English. No. Okay. So this is 6,000 bottles.
Yes.
Food and Wine, the distributor in Poland. Food and Wine, and almost 25 euro. 25 euro on the shelf.
Good value. Yeah.
Well, that's for very fair price, I believe. Okay, thank you, Simon. Guido Antonio. Yes, this is you, Guido Antonio Mus.
Yes,
right. Very nice label.
I agree. Very iconic, very beautiful.
Okay.
Next one.
And guys, this is number 9 already.
This was number 9.
This is number 10. This was number 9, and this is number 10. Sorry, I have to speak.
Thomas is with us.
And Thomas is with us. Yes, this is Cantina Carlton. Yes, Thomas. Hi.
Good evening to everyone from Carlton. I'm Thomas, the chief enologist of Cantina Carlton. We are here. Carlton is the second biggest wine village in Alto Adige, Südtirol. And so we cultivate 440 hectares, and we have 590 families or members which are cultivating their vineyards according to our specifications. We have also quite a rich history, as the oldest part of our cooperative was founded in 1900, so just 123 years ago. We have also quite a lot of different varieties, more than 15, as our vineyards began from 200 to 800 meters above sea level. So we have quite a lot of different areas, vineyard soils. As you can see also here on the picture, we begin the vineyards are around the lake of Carlton, which is in the front, and then all the vineyards are going up to the village of Carlton and also above. We are going to taste our Sauvignon Quintessence. 2020. Quintessence is the name of our premium line, where we are selected the best vineyards of our most important varieties. And so we have here Sauvignon. That is, the vineyards are located at above 550 meters on above the village of Kalton, on a small part of Kalton, the Oberplanitzing, where we can find not only the calcareous chalky soils that is quite normal or typical for our vineyards, but there we have also porphyry and granite, so volcanic soils, and which rents our Sauvignon quite vertical and mineral. And yeah, we are aiming, but we are fermenting it in 100% in big oak cask. But older ones, so we don't want to get too lot of oakiness, of big bold wine, but just to adding a little bit more of complexity, and to letting them refining in the best way with a little bit of micro oxygenation in the oak cask. And yeah, the aim is to make an elegant minerality Sauvignon.
Yes, absolutely. I agree, Thomas. It's as you said, there's no oak present in the glass. Even if you wouldn't have said it, I would say, well, maybe it's completely steel. Maybe stainless steel. Very precise, very mineral. A little bit reductive on the nose too. So I think it's going to have a good aging potential as well. To be honest, I know also from some tastings in recent times, so I can absolutely assure the longevity of this wine. And I think Sauvignon Quintessence is moving towards a very, very proper identity, very precise, very crispy. Also, this has also this crispiness that we find in South Tyrolean white wines. Right now, it is the last white wine we tasted today. I think it's a very, very nice finish. Also, I have again this salivating components in my mouth. So very, very nice Sauvignon Quintessence 2020 vintage, already almost 3 years old. So very young, very fresh, very, very nice wine. Piotr, you have something for us.
Well, 12,000 bottles, 25.5 euro on the shelf, and Ambra brands, which is Vinesia or Centrum Wina in Poland, because they are different under different names. Yeah, very well.
Super.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Nice tasting. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you very much. Well, and now number 11. Yes, Ansitz Waldgris, and well, this is Simon again.
It's again me. Christian Platten couldn't make it today because he has a job to do in Rome. So I'm going to introduce you quickly to Ansitz Waldgris. Ansitz Waldgris is one of the oldest wineries we have in South Tyrol by the history. It was first nominated in I think 1296 something. It's located near Bolzano, near our capital. It has vineyards in and around Bolzano, and it has also vineyards on the Eppan side, on the Eppan mountain side, where the white wines. But we focus on the red wine today, and one of the most iconic wines of Christian Plattner, of Ansitz Waldgris, is Fernacci. Fernacci in Italian is Schiava. It has a long history in South Tyrol. As I said before in the introduction, it was one of the most planted grape varieties until the 1978, 1980s. It was decreasing in the last years because, to be fair, not every Fernacci stood in the right vineyard. So not every grape in South Tyrol gave the good expression for Fernacci, because it's a very tricky wine. It's a wine that has a lot of problems in the vineyard and also in the cellar. Some also compare it to Pinot Noir because it's like a little bit of a diva. It has not the complexity of a Pinot Noir, that is clear, but it is a very iconic wine. It is an autochthonous grape variety from South Tyrol. So I think I'm a big Fernatsch fan. It's a grape variety that is, in my opinion, very modern. You can drink it slightly chilled with a lot of food, from international cuisine up to pizza, up to, of course, pasta. Up, you can also have it for a barbecue. You can have it with a lot of things because it has a good expression of fruit. It has low tannins and it has a medium and light body. So it's a wine that you can basically enjoy every time, which was also done in the past, because it's the classical South Tyrolean wine for let's say we call it a merenda, which would be a snack during the afternoon when you are hungry. So you have, let's say, a sausage, a piece of bread, and this classical red wine. Even it's not so traditional anymore, but it was very traditional back in the day. So Fernatsch is old and new at the same time, and as you can see, it's called Sankt Magdalena Classico, which is nothing different than the appellation of the village of Sankt Magdalena, which is situated near the city of Bolzano. And I want to read this expression, this sentence that Christian Plattner said, because I really love it. I love the distinctive wines from northern Burgundy, and I want to give a Sancta Magdalena Classico the same expressiveness to go with an elegant personality with charm. So, of course, we're not going to have Pinot Noir here. That should be clear. But we have 92% Schiava and 8% Lagrein. Lagrein is also an autochthonous grape variety from South Tyrol, and it's allowed in the blend up to 15%. So what we have here is one of the most, in my opinion, iconic Sankt Magdalena, one of the most iconic wines from this appellation. And I really, really hope you like Fernatsch, you like Sankt Magdalena. As again, I say, it's a very modern wine. It's a wine that, in my opinion, in the last years was treated a little bit wrong in South Tyrol, not so well, but maybe that was also necessary to have it now again back in a focus next to the great white wines that we produce here in South Tyrol. So we go on the nose. It is very floral. It has these typical notes of violets, of cherries, of almonds, also bitter almonds. It's a little bit also spicy. Yes, you feel it in the mouth. It has a medium light body. It has not very much tannins, but it has good acidity. It has a lot of drinkability. And if you enjoy this wine chilled, let's say with a pizza maybe, or with a barbecue, or even solo if you're thirsty in summer, because I hope that now is coming a great summer for all of us. It's a great wine. So serve it a little bit chiller every time. Also, Christian writes it in his technical sheet. So I really hope you like Fernatsch as much as I do. And Ansitz Waldkreis is a very nice winery also to visit. It has a proper wine road in the vineyards to walk around. So it has also a good wine shop. So Christian is happy to have all of you in Bolzano. He's very sorry he couldn't make it.
36.2 euro and 8,000 bottles, and no importer in Poland yet.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I think this inserts it in this shelf of light-bodied red wines that are very elegant right now and very requested, from Gamay to, let's say, Chianti to Sankt Magdalena, Pinot Noir even. So it's a very interesting wine.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting wine, very elegant. Oh, this is Yola again. So since it's only Yola, you, me, and some guys very shy.
It's all right if the guys, maybe the guys should drink more so they're not so shy anymore.
Well, yeah, I will tell them.
Tell them.
Guys, let's drink more. Yeah. Okay. And now this is wine with lunch, because yes, in 10 minutes you have the train. Yes.
Yes.
To catch. Yes. Go. Okay. So Stefan. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Go on, please.
I'm Stefan. I'm the winemaker of the winery aged Lench in Bronzolo. We are located in the south part of Alto Adige, and this a really hot area. So we are our vineyards are in the middle of, how you can see it here in the picture, in the middle of between the mountains and between the apple trees in the valley. And we have a lot of trees and olive trees and cypresses in our vineyards to create a kind of microclimate and to create a good atmosphere in our vineyards. We, how you can see here, we have the traditional system like the pergola and the Guyot system. What is the new traditional system in the world? Our vineyards offer a home to an impressive variety and different grapes. We have more red wines than white wines. We have 80% of red wines like Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, a little bit of Syrah, and the classic Lagrein. And these red varieties have the ideal growing conditions in these warm, sandy, and stony soils. The soils are stone, and the stone is porphyry, the porphyry rock from the volcano. Yeah, the winery was. Sorry.
Do you want to tell us something about the wine or about the cuvée?
Yes, of course. We have this wine is quite a new wine. We made the first vintage of this wine. We made 2018. It's a cuvée named Brazol. It's an old name of the town. We with this wine we want to show up what this town can make, and so we have done a cuvée, a blend of different varieties: Lagrein, Merlot, Cabernet, and Syrah, to show our fingerprint of the winery, to show what we can, what the area is able to do. We have here now the 2019. Have after the fermentation, we do 8 months, 6 months, 8 months of between 8 and 12 months of barrique and tonneau, and after that we do 6 months of bottle aging.
Super. The thing is, the first thing that comes into my mind or into my nose, I have to say, when I smell the wine, is spiciness. It's almost fiery. It reminds me of a fiery volcano and of the porphyric soils. And I have the spicy notes of maybe of the Lagrein and of the Syrah. I think Lagrein and Syrah, Stefan, are somehow inherited to each other, if I don't get it wrong. Maybe
I'm not sure at the moment.
Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Lagrein and Syrah can be very spicy.
But I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because the Lagrein, one of the parents of Lagrein is the Roldego, and the other one I think he doesn't known yet. So maybe, but far away.
Far away. Okay, a long list of inheritance. Anyway, first you have the spiciness, and then you have this precise expression of the blackberries of the Merlot and of the Cabernet. Very nice oak also in the nose.
Okay, Stefan. So this is the 5,000 bottles only, right?
Yes.
You're searching the importer in Poland, and the price is less than 18 euro.
Yes, exactly.
The shelf.
Exactly. We think we created here a wine for barbecue with friends, and I think if you get it in Poland, you will enjoy it there too in with some good friends.
Well, yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's very nice. Yeah, barbecue is our national sport.
I'm getting so hungry. Oh, lobster barbecue. Oh my god. Piotr,
Lotte
we have to
from
go to the last
Maine.
wine.
Yeah. Okay, very well. Thank you. Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you, Stefan.
Any comments, guys? And yes, this is Judith. Judith, hello. You're the last.
Last woman standing.
Hello.
I'm happy you could make it.
Hi, Simon.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Judith. I'm representing our family winery today, which is Hansrud and Steiner. The family of my husband is related to viticulture already from 1530 on. We have the first documents. They are in the Bolzano area for centuries now. They were always producing wine. And this is shown also by the family names. So Rot is red in German, and Stein is stone. So the red stone is porphyry soil, of which we're talking a lot today. This is where we were born. This is where our family is born. And this is where a lot of our wines grow. And this soil gives a very specific character to our wines. The porphyry soil makes the wines very mineral and very elegant. This is what we are showing in our quite big range of wines. What is very typical for us, so we are a family winery. We have 12 hectares by ourselves, but we also buy grapes by some small farmers all over the region, all over the city of Bolzano. The one that is the most far away from us is in Tramin, so 15 kilometers away. All the others are very narrow, are very, in this Bolzano basin, which is very typical. We are maybe not, as Alto Adige changed a lot during the last years to a white wine region. We are a little bit more traditional. As Bolzano area is a very hot area. You see here the city of Bolzano and the hills above. And here grow two very special wines, two very special varieties, indigenous varieties. One is the Schiava, where you already heard about Christian's very nice Santa Maddalena. And the other one is Lagrein, an indigenous variety that grows especially in this basin of Bolzano in the valley. Lagrein needs very hot climate, but at the same time, it needs a wet terroir. So this is a little bit difficult to get. And the Bolzano city gives good opportunity to this wine. Here you see our estates. We have 2 family estates. At least we have 4 family estates, but from 2 of them we do Vigna, very special Vigna wines. So for us, the terroir and where the wines come from, the single vineyards are very, very important, and we try to valorize these the most possible. A little bit of our cellar, which for the wine we are going to taste is very important, as we do not use a lot of wood, but we use the barrique barrels for our select line. And we are going to taste the Lagrein Select, which matures for a year in barrique barrels. And once a year, my husband, here you see him, is going to taste 110 barrels of Lagrein and chooses the one he likes the most of doing his Lagrein selection.
So that's also where the name comes from, I suppose. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
It's a very expressive Lagrein. It's a very well done every year. It has this spicy notes, this peppery notes on the nose. It has dark fruit, of course, dark cherries, dark berries, dark plum. So it's also a little bit
chocolate, tobacco.
It's very typical for Lagrein. It's a very intense color, but also very elegant, very bright.
It's a selection done in the vineyard, actually. As you see on the label, there is written Lagrein Gries. Gries is kind of the premier cru for Lagrein. So we can write it. We can write it on the label as a specific area of Bolzano, the city of Bolzano, where we in Alto Adige say that Lagrein grows best. So this is what we want to valorize. These are 2 very, very small pieces of land on which on one we do a rigorous reduction of the harvest to have an even more concentrated material than for the wine. It ferments in concrete tanks, in these old concrete tanks that Hannes' grandfather put in the cellar at the area to do mass wine, because he exported a lot of wine to Switzerland, and now we use it for the opposite, to do quality in the wine.
Super. So you did the change from quantity to quality, like most of South Tyrolean wineries. Also, it's a little bit of your story. Well, very well done, Judith. I'm happy you could make it also today with the tasting. Piotr, you have some final numbers for us. I feel like in the European Song Contest. 10, 12, 9.
The votes at the end, though.
I do, yes. This is €25 on the shelf in Italy. searching for an importer in Poland, and 35,000 bottles per year.
Judith, there is a question.
Yes.
What was an inspiration for the design?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. We designed our own bottle 4 years ago. This is a bottle that we have in exclusive. We designed it together with the manufacturer. It's way in between Burgundy and Bordeaux bottle. And of course, at the beginning, you say, okay, you're doing your own bottle and you use the old labels, the old design, but this does never work. So we decided to do a new design also for all the labels. And on the Select line, we chose our family crest, which you see behind, black on black, with the ibex, which is our heraldic animal. And you find the ibex on the bottle, on every label. So this small animal is very important for us. And then, of course, to valorize the wine, to underline the selection, we chose black and gold color.
I learned that black in wine labels and in how can I say, in wine collectibles and in valorization of wine labels plays a very big role. Some of the biggest and most important wines in the world have black labels.
So this is why we choose it. No,
of course, makes absolutely sense.
I think it makes the bottle very, very elegant, and it goes very well with the color of the glass. But yeah, of course,
absolutely. When you hold it, and it's also it's a good touch. It's absolutely
okay.
So thank you so much, Judith, for. Somebody has to be the last, but in the flight, I think it made absolutely sense to serve Lagrein in the end. I'm so happy that you had the patience to stay with us for 2 hours. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everyone who listened from Poland, who was active. I want to thank every winery from South Tyrol. The place of my heart is where I live. It's what I love. Thank you so much for supporting this webinar. Thank you, of course, Piotr, for setting us up. You are an angel. We were in touch almost every day. You don't have
yes,
you don't know, but the behind the scenes was very intense to check everything working, and I'm just thankful. I'm not going to home sleeping. I'm not going to drink a beer. I'm just going to shut the computer because I have a masterclass about Apulia doing right now here in our office. So I jumped from the northernmost part of Italy to the southernmost part of Italy. So thank you so much for the tasting. Piotr, do you want to say something before I leave?
Some comments in the chat. Thank you for the great presentation, and thank you for wonderful tasting with lots of inspirations and elegant wines. Excellent wine and such a great presentation.
Thank you so much. I hope if you have any questions, please write it to Piotr. He's gonna send it to me, and I'm happy to answer it. If you have questions for me, if you have questions for the wineries, please send them also to Piotr or to me, and we will ask the wineries for further information. I hope you found something you like. I hope you found something you want to drink even more in the future. And I hope you learned a little bit of our beautiful region, which is called Südtirol, Alto Adige, in heart of Europe. We would love to host you here as our guests. We would love to have you here in South Tyrol, and we would love if you enjoy our wines in Poland. That said, thank you so much for everything. Danke, auf Wiedersehen. Ciao.
Danke, auf Wiedersehen, and ciao. Yes. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Dziękujemy bardzo. Dobranoc.